Akala ko kaya FedEx kasi you were fed of your ex, fed up of your ex. Joke lang. Galit pala sa ex. So, hindi pala yan. Sorry. Kamusta rin? Meron din tayo sa Facebook. Kamustahin natin ang mga nasa Facebook Live. Si Angel, si Rebecca, si Marinella, si Philmar, si Mary Rose, si Orland, si Tita Evelyn, si Mara, si Mary Ann. Ayan, good morning sa inyong lahat. We are excited ngayong araw na ito. Alam ko excited na rin kayong magsimula. But before that, yun nga, I hope everyone is doing safe. Try at nakaiwas tayo sa sakunang nangyari. And yun nga, we are sending our prayers and our wishes sa mga nasalanta ng nakaraang bagyo. And alam ko, meron ng paparating na naman, although baka nasa Batanes area, but we're still sending our prayers and wishes, well wishes for them. Alright, so bago po tayo magsimula, let me just share some great news for you guys. So let me just share my screen. Ayan, so some great news we'd love to share with you guys. Ayan, so sa ating mga susunod na topic, kumukuti-kuti sa new normal. This is one of our upcoming topics. It's our guest will be Denise Cornejo. You've known her. She's actually a celebrity. So she will be discussing growing your business during the pandemic holiday. So abangan nyo, magiging guest natin na napakagandang si Denise Cornejo. And we will also have upcoming projects. So this is with GCash and Boost Manila and also partnership with ABS-CBN. So wow, social, ABS-CBN ang partner natin. So we're excited and hopefully we will be able to share the details really soon. And also some announcement. We are looking for service providers in the BGC area. So if you have or if you know someone, a provider of any service, business, whatever sa BGC area, just email sales@boostmanila.com. And lastly, don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. It's Facebook group yan. Nilagay na nila kasi hindi ko daw sa ulo. Sa Sulong Negosyo PH, that's Boost Manila Tech. Sa Facebook and Instagram and also on LinkedIn, that's Boost MNL. Alright, so yun lamang po. Just a few reminders. And also, later on, we will be giving you again a link for you to accomplish an e-survey at the end of this webinar. We will also be discussing, giving the link for you to register your certificate. And again, some of the topics na mga suggestions for the upcoming webinar series. Ayan. So reminders lamang po, no? If you're on Zoom, if you have any questions at any point of the discussion of the webinar, just feel free to kung pwede kayo mag-raise ng hands, pwede naman mag-unmute. Kung gusto nyo magpakita sa screen, pwede rin naman. At saka kung may mga questions kayo or suggestions, sabi nga ni Tita Susan, huwag maibiyang magtanong. Alright? Sige. At yun lang. Let's start learning, and I'm excited to be introducing our guest speaker for today. She's no other than Nicole Soltes, Senior UI and UX Designer from Ogilvy and Mather, Philippines. And she has 7 years of experience doing UI and UX Designer. Ayan. So, nandiyan na yata ang ating guest. Napakagandang si Nicole. Good morning, Nicole!
Good morning!
Ayan. Good morning. Huwag mo na akong ipo. Parang magkasing edad lang naman tayo. Sige. Lokohin natin sa gilid natin. So, merong cute na dog na na-meet ko na kanina si Nicole. No? Si Pilog. Ano pa lang name ng dog mo? Crom. Hi, Crom. Medyo nakakatakot. Hindi naman. Mukhang mabait naman si Crom. Alright. So, Nicole, kamusta? What's keeping you busy during the pandemic?
Wala.
Nagpipenik na trabaho, working from home. That's good. That's good to hear. Ayan.
But yung company start niya lang din ng online business.
Wow! So hopefully naka-attend siya, no, Nicole, this webinar series. So, yan. So maraming gustong matuto, especially na mag-business ngayong pandemic. Especially na paparating na yung holiday season. Alright, so Nicole, I think everyone is excited kasi itong specific topic na to, ni-request talaga ito ng ating mga viewers. Karamihan nga pala ng ating mga viewers from Facebook and Zoom are actually marketing students. Hello sa mga University of Caloocan marketing students. Yan, mga students, and also we have agribusiness from Ilocos. So meron din tayo mga small and medium business enterprises na excited. So right, so Nicole, if you are ready, you can start sharing your screen.
Okay.
Okay, so yung topic natin ngayon, ang logo mo. So it's creating your own logo. Pero bago tayo gumawa ng sarili nating logo or mag-exercise, may mga bagay lang na gusto kong maintindihan nyo lahat na tungkol sa logo. There are 3 parts to my talk. So yung una is this one. What is a logo? So parang gusto ko lang maintindihan ng lahat kung bakit importante yung logo. Why do they matter for any brand para sa mga online businesses nyo? Yung second part, i-discuss ko yung mga elements ng logo para maintindihan nyo how to make your own logo. And then yung last part, kung may oras pa tayo, pwede tayo gumamit ng isang free na platform para sa lahat para gumawa ng logo. Kasi pagka yung mga Adobe platforms, baka hindi siya accessible to everyone. So we wanted to be as inclusive as possible para makapag-join lahat. Okay, so let's start. Ano ang logo and bakit siya important? I mean, logos are everywhere. Pagka tumingin ka sa phone mo, may logo. Pagka, tumingin ako sa vitamin ko, may logo. Lahat may logo. So bakit? Bakit sila importante? Bakit yung mga brands, yung mga big brands like Coke and Unilever, they scramble for the perfect logo? Bakit they pay so much to get the perfect logo for their brand? Bago natin sagutin, meron lang akong little fun fact. Did you know na yung brain natin, 90% ng information na pinaprocess ng mga utak natin is purely visual. Kung ano yung nakikita natin. Sabi nga nila, di ba, picture paints 1,000 words. So, mas matagal mag-process sa brain natin yung text, yung mga words, kesa sa picture. I mean, di ba, parang, kunyari, pag may nakita akong girl, person, di ba? Ang dami ko nang naiisip, ay mukha siyang mabait kasi lagi siyang nakasmile. Ay mukha siyang friendly. Ganyan, parang ang dami ko nang ina-assume sa brain ko without even reading anything or any text. So that's exactly why logos are important because it's a visual symbol that represents your brand. So on that note, ang pinaka-purpose ng logo is to identify a brand, a service, or a person. Depende sa business nyo or kung single proprietorship man kayo, YouTuber, ganyan, content creator, kung may logo kayo, like let's say for example, si Will Dasovich, yung logo niya, di ba yung unggoy? And then when we see that, we already identify it with a content creator. So like it's a visual symbol that represents or identifies your brand. And pero gusto ko lang i-note also na without the overall experience na natutunan nyo na din sa seminar before, yun yung branding, yun yung customer experience, yung logo, baka wala rin siyang marating. It's just an empty vessel. So even if it stands as a symbol, and even if ang ganda ng pagkakagawa and it's the perfect logo, pag hindi nyo sinabayan ng good customer service, customer relationship, good branding, packaging, and all of those things, baka masayang lang din yung logo. Gusto ko lang din i-note yun before we start because hindi naman end-all be-all ang logo to everything. And then I also want you guys to understand na as much as a logo is a strategic, as much as it is art, a logo is also a strategic tool. Hindi lang siya maganda tingnan, tinatry mo rin i-influence yung nakakakita ng logo mo to create an impression. Kung ini-influence mo yung tingin nila sa brand mo. Ganon. So parang hindi lang siya maganda, may purpose siya. Kailangan pagtingin nila ng logo mo, Okay, alam kong pambabae itong brand na to. Okay, alam kong pang lalaki itong brand na to. Okay, alam kong premium itong brand na to. Alam kong professional sila. Ganon. Kaya strategic siya. We try to influence people to think the way we want them to think about our brand. I just have a few examples para mas maintindihan nyo. Kakasabi ko nga lang kanina, di ba, a picture paints 1,000 words. So, mas importante na mas maintindihan nyo through visuals. So, we have like 2 examples of 8 logos here. So, on your left, Bossini, and on your right, Gucci. So, just by looking at their logos, mas economic yung Bossini, mas friendly siya tignan because mas bright yung colors niya, mas rounded yung text niya, gumagamit siya ng circle na mas welcoming. And then if we look at Gucci naman, mas luxurious siya tignan, medyo intimidating, di ba? Kasi mas gumagamit siya ng serif font. Yung serif font, yung may mga buntot, yan, yung mga sa dulo ng letter I, letter G. Tsaka medyo monochromatic siya, tsaka mas edgy yung logo niya. So, ang galing, like, just by looking at these 2 logos, ang dami na nating na-assume or nako-conclude tungkol sa brands nila. These are other examples of economic versus luxurious brands and how they use their logos. If you notice, yung mga economic and mas welcoming na brand, tsaka mas para sa lahat, gumagamit sila ng colors that are brighter. Tapos yung mga edges nila mas rounded. Pansinin niyo yung mga font nila, hindi matutulis yung dulo rounded. Kasi pag nakakita kayo ng ganyan, automatically yung brain nyo, assume nila, mas friendly to, welcoming to. Kesa sa dun sa mga fonts, let's say na yun nga, katulad ng Tiffany & Co, mas edgy, diba? Tapos muted dun yung colors nila, muted, what do you call this? Muted teal. So parang, yan, mas ano siya, it gives me the sense of luxury.
Nicole?
Yeah?
Yeah, before we continue, medyo may feedback tayo sa Facebook, no? Medyo mahina daw yung dating natin. So if you have a headset, or at least, yan. Para at least hindi rin mapagod ang yung lalamunan sa pagsalita para marinig nila tayo ng very audibly and clearly.
Ito, naririnig nyo na ba ako?
Yan, perfect.
Okay, cool. So, as I was saying, sana narinig nyo naman kanina na yung difference between an economic logo tsaka luxurious logos. So, I was saying na just by looking at, okay, ito, example na to, diba? Just by looking at these 2 logos, meron na agad tayo na assume about the brand. Cebu Pacific, kahit kunyari hindi ko alam yung Cebu Pacific as an airline, pag nakita ko yung logo nila, i-assume ko na, mas budget-friendly sila. They use yellow, so medyo mas accommodating sila, mas welcoming sila, mas for everyone sila. And then, even their font choice, may rounded edges. So parang automatically our brain would think, it's a more friendly brand. And then when we look at our more premium airline in the Philippines, Philippine Airlines, if you look at their colors, it's more solid, parang mas stern sila. And then they use a lot of edges also, meaning yung brain natin, napaperceive natin sila as a little bit more luxurious or a little bit more on the higher end compared to the competitor. So, ang galing, ang daming na conclude ng brain natin just by looking at a single symbol. And that's what I want you guys to understand, na yung logo nyo, it's not just maganda, it's not just art, but it's a strategic tool para ma-explain nyo yung brand nyo using a single symbol without even saying anything. And that is exactly why it's such a powerful tool. And that's why I like it so much. And then another example here is a contrast between masculine and feminine logo. Mapapansin natin kapag feminine yung logo, mas maraming curves, mas soft yung logo. And automatically, pagkita ko ng Dove as a logo, as a brand, I would assume, pang babae. And then pag tinignan natin yung Axe, mas edgy, monochromatic, ang makakapal yung lines, tapos even everything. Parang it forms like a shape na rectangle, which is very manly, very edgy. So automatically, when I see this logo, I would assume, pang lalaki to. So, ang galing, di ba? Walang sinasabi yung brand. Just by the logo, na-assume mo na sino yung target audience nila. And then, for example, Unilever and Apple. Apple as a brand, this just shows you how also the values of the brand are represented. Apple as a brand, they want to be simple, yan, straightforward sila, user-friendly yung mga gadgets nila, kaya yung logo nila simple din. And then, ang Unilever naman, ang, if you guys know, may mga 400 brands under Unilever. Marami silang values, marami silang brand identity. So if you look at it, mas complex yung logo nila because they represent so much under their wing. So that's a contrast between the two. And then a playful logo and a serious logo. So naa-assume ka na agad just by looking at Toys R Us, pang bata to. And then just by looking at time, I mean like, mas serious to, mukhang news to mukhang pang matatanda to, ganyan, di ba? And then something a little bit more familiar, lalo na ngayon, I'm sure a lot of you guys are online shopping. So if I look at the Shopee logo and the Lazada logo, mas na assume ko na mas user-friendly, ay mas budget-friendly yung Shopee. They use rounded edges, and ang galing na they use like a shopping bag because automatically alam ko na agad, online shopping to. And then Lazada naman, mas strong yung logo nila, 3D. So medyo it gives me a more premium feel as compared to Shopee. And true enough, ganun naman yung marketing strategy nila both. So again, why do logos matter? I just have a brief summary, but before I go to that, if you guys have any questions, I can answer them. Pero kung wala naman, meron ba? Okay. We can proceed. So again, why do logos matter? Number one, they are the face of your business. As I was saying, ito yung unang impression sa business mo, and it represent a symbol that represents your business. Number two, establish instant brand recognition. So obviously, like when I think of McDo, naiisip ko agad yung letter M, yung arches na letter M. And inversely, when I'm saying brand recognition, pag inisip ko yung pag nakita ko yung letter M, ma-recognize ko agad na McDo yun. And yung check ng Nike, pag nakita ko yung check, ma-recognize ko yung brand na Nike. So instant brand recognition yun. Also for like mga collaterals niyo, mga damit, ganyan, di ba? Even if you just put the logo, ma-recognize na nila yung brand. And then, as I was saying kanina, and I was emphasizing a lot, logo design influences our decisions. So, kunyari ako, naghahanap ako ng mas feminine brand or naghahanap ako, let's say, ng toy para sa pamangkin ko. If I see the Toys R Us logo, doon ako pupunta kasi ang hanap ko, toys. Syempre, hindi ako pupunta, let's say, sa Gap. Kasi yung logo nila medyo mas intimidating and hindi siya pang toys, di ba? So, these things influence your decision-making process. And if I'm comparing two brands, depende kung ano yung hanap ko. Mas gusto, let's say, Cebu Pacific nga or Philippine Airlines, di ba? Kung ano mas hanap ko ba budget-friendly or gusto ko ba mas premium, just by looking at their logo, may influence na agad yung decision ko on which brand to look at first. Siyempre, kung budget hanap ko, doon ako sa mas friendlier na logo, yung mga may mas welcoming na colors and mas welcoming na font. So that's how logos also influence our decisions and the decisions of our target market. And then, as I was saying, it creates a good first impression kasi it's your first ever chance to impress your customer and to attract them to look at your business. So those are the 4 things, the reasons why logos are important and why they matter and why you should give importance to them. And so next part ng talk ko, we'll talk about creating your logo and the elements that you should consider when you create your logo. I'll be talking about colors, typographies, and shape. But before I move on, may mga questions po ba?
I'm checking. Salty. Salty palang nickname ni Nicole. Shout out kay sa yung mga friends and supporters from CAF.
Oh, wow.
From L. Yan. Hello, L. Yan. Kamusta kayo? Ayan, wala pa naman tayong questions pero may comments about yun nga, Apple being simple logo pero expensive daw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Expensive sila pero yung personality kasi nila as a brand, yung value nila, they want to create mga platform or mga programs na na madaling gamitin. Kaya simple din yung logo nila.
Ayan. So, ayan, may mga additional viewers tayo. We're just saying hi to Eliza, Roxanne, Cameron, si Dave, si Mariel, si Roque, si Angelo, si Harrison, and si Dems. Si Bernard also, si John Ray, Jonaline. Ang daming pabati, no? Okay, we can continue. Salty.
Audio? Or okay na ba?
I think we're good naman na. We're okay na sa audio.
Alright, great. Baka hawakan ko na lang din yung mic para mas marinig nyo lahat. Okay. Next part, creating your logo and the things that we should consider when making our logo. Number 1, colors. Meron lang ako medyo, hindi naman siya intimidating, pero it's just a rainbow of colors. And automatically, kung ano yung gusto nyong iparating sa market nyo, this is like a cheat sheet na para magamit nyo kung depende sa personality ng brand nyo na na-identify nyo. Yan. Pwede nyo na tong gamitin as a guide. So, yung monochromatic logos, yun yung mga gray, black and white, they give the impression of being calm, neutral, and they give the impression of balance. So, examples here, yun yung Apple, Wikipedia, Time Magazine, Honda, Nike. And then, green naman, peaceful, growth, and health. So, usually, ito yung mga growth, we automatically link that to nature and even health. So, usually, yung mga brand that uses green are more of mga, let's say, yun nga, Animal Planet, Tropicana, yan, yung mga Whole Foods, yan, yung mga brand na yan. But also, Land Rover, kasi diba, mas pang outdoors sila, nature, na-relate mo sila sa ganun. And then, peaceful brands also. And then, blue, they give this color gives the impression of trust, being dependable and being strong. So if you notice, a lot of tech companies and pharmaceutical companies, they use blue because if you want people to trust you, blue is a good color to go for. Yung mga tech, especially if yan IBM, Dell, 'di ba? Kung Facebook, if they HP, ang dami nila, if GE, if you want people to switch to you and to trust your brand, yan, you can go for that. And then in terms of like pharmaceutical brands naman, you have Pfizer, yan. And then purple naman, it's a little bit more creative, imaginative, and wise. Pagka mas feminine yung brand, we can also use pink to create this impression of creativity, of being imaginative and being wise. And then red, yan, mas exciting, mas bold, mas youthful. So you can see yung mga brand right here are a little bit more forward thinking brands, mas innovator sila, leaders, let's say like Netflix, it's just an innovator, brands that are leading the market, like let's say YouTube, Nintendo, Lego, Coca-Cola. Yan yung mga brands na yan. And usually also, a lot of food brands are using their color red also. Let's say KFC, yan, Dairy Queen, yan, Lay's. And then, if you want to create the impression of being friendly, cheerful, and confident, mas welcoming, and medyo mas pangbata in a sense, then you could use orange because it's very friendly and open and accommodating to all. So if you notice, Nickelodeon, yan, Fanta, Payless, Blogspot, Yan yung mga gumagamit ng orange. And then in terms of color yellow naman, it gives the impression of optimism, clarity, and warmth. So ito yung mga brands that are, um, how do I say it? Parang mas kind of same as orange na welcoming, but a little bit more mature than orange. Yeah, ganon, yeah. A little
Nicole,
mature, yeah.
bago tayo mag-move on sa next, ako personally, mayroon akong tanong sa'yo. Do you have any preference, like halimbawa yung personal logo mo? So siguro, also yung mga natin, yung mga viewers natin, kung meron ba kayong personal favorite na logo, type nyo lang sa Facebook or sa Zoom para at least mapag-usapan din natin while we're discussing our favorite logos.
Yeah.
So ikaw, Salty, anong favorite logo mo at bakit?
FedEx for sure.
FedEx. Bakit?
Yeah.
Bakit FedEx?
Have you guys seen the FedEx logo ba?
Mm-hmm.
Wait hahanapin ko dito sa, I'm sure, ayun, if you, nakikita niyo ba yung EX? May arrow in between and that negative space in between E and X.
Wow. Yeah.
Guys, and it's so representative of who they are as a brand. They are movers. And that's something that you don't see right away. That's why I find it so amusing and I find it so smart. Ang galing eh. May arrow.
Yung arrow nga, tama, hindi mo man-notice agad unless nung sinabi mo, doon ko lang na-rest. Oo nga, nung hinahanap ko, akala ko kaya FedEx kasi you were fed of your ex, fed up of your ex. joke lang. Galit pala sa ex. So, hindi pala yun. Sorry. Alright. Sige, tignan natin kung ano yung mga favorite logo sila. Ako, personally, yung favorite logo ko is, Amazon.
Yung may smile?
Yung may smile. At saka yung di ba? Technically kasi, nabasa ko lang din yung while researching. No? Yung Amazon kasi, yung smile, tapos yung points ng arrow is from A to Z. So parang sinasabi niya na you can find anything on Amazon. Diba? Galing din. Tatalino ng gumawa ng logo nila. Sana all.
Nakakatuwa yung mga ganun, no? Yung mga little things na hindi mo naman mapapansin at first. Pero mapapansin mo as you
talagang pinag-iisipan, no? Every detail, every element of the logo is importante. Ayan, sige, tuloy na natin. Excited na tayong matuto pa.
On that note nga na every detail pinag-iisipan, yun yung principle ko rin when I design. Naniniwala ako na nothing is by chance, na whatever you design can influence, na may natitrigger na certain emotion, may influence mo kung ano yung decision na gagawin or ano yung impression or anong iisipin ng nakakakita. So it's not like art just cause maganda. May mga ganun and maganda naman talaga. But when it comes to like designing for businesses, naniniwala ko na we don't design purely by chance.
Agree.
Yeah. So yan, on second part, after colors, typography naman. I'll walk you through like different fonts para maintindihan nyo rin kung anong font gusto nyong gamitin for your logo. Tsaka ano yung impression na makukuha ng mga viewers nyo with those fonts. If you look at serif fonts, obviously yung mga examples ko to your right, they are very serious. Tapos parang ang classy and it gives me the sense of heritage na parang, okay, established na tong mga brands na to. And usually yung mga serif fonts na yan, ang gumagamit niyan, premium brands, let's say kanina nga, Gucci, Zara, and then news sites if they want to give a sense of being serious, ganyan. And then keywords lang para maalala nyo lang na kunyari if serif ang ginagamit nyo, it gives the impression of trust and respectability. So kung gusto nyo yung brand nyo, people look up to, people trust, and if you want to elicit a sense of trust, yan, serif gamitin niya. Slab serif naman, ano siya, subset siya ng serif font. I discussed kanina, di ba, serif, yan yung mga may buntot. yan. Times New Roman, if you guys are familiar. Yon, classic serif font yan. Slab serif naman, may mga buntot din sila, pero mas makapal sila. And dahil mas makapal sila, it gives us the impression na they are confident, very solid, and they have a bold attitude. Yan. So it's kind of a mix between the impression you get from serif of class heritage, trust and responsibility, pero haluan mo ng impression na parang okay, solid, mas bold to, mas daring. Yan. Kaya yung keywords na to, innovative, confident, and creative. Sans serif naman, which is my personal favorite, is um yun yung mga walang buntot. Basically, sans wala. Serif, yung tail. So it's a little bit more straightforward and simple and no nonsense kasi wala silang mga extra things that are needed, that are not needed. So yung keywords niya, honesty, sensibility, and clarity. Script naman, yan yung mga parang handwritten fonts. It gives the idea of femininity, elegance, and creativity. Watch out lang when you use mga script fonts. Make sure it's still readable because yung mga script fonts, minsan, sa sobrang elaborate and complicated nila, mahirap na sila basahin. So if you notice yung mga brands here, mas ano sila the way they market themselves, mas through emotions, through connecting with their audience on an emotional level. Kasi yung script na font na yan, it's a little bit more personal kasi nga it looks like it's handwritten. So it's more connected to human emotion and also creativity because it's made by hand. And then, the last one is a decorative font. So, itong mga font na to, sometimes, well, most of the time, they are made specifically for the logo. And they are so unique because, well, nothing is like it. And then, from, the, like, let's say, for example, the Disney logo. From the logo itself, gumagawa na yung mga tao ng mga font out of it. So, it's so unique and it's so distinct to the brand itself. So if you want to create that impression na you're unique and casual, direct, and you're fun because like you're not like anyone else, you kind of want to use more decorative font. But at the same time also, it's kind of like script. Make sure na you don't over decorate because sana legible pa rin siya, nababasa pa din siya. And then the third part, so we already talked about, diba, yung color psychology and how it influences perception, kung ano yung tingin nila sa brand mo. Number 2, typography. Anong font ang pwede mong gamitin para depende sa brand personality mo. And then third, shape. So marami, like, honestly, sa logo kasi, hindi ko naman ma-discuss every single illustration that goes into a logo. Like, let's say yung sa Amazon nga, yung smile that goes from A to Z, hindi ko naman ma-explain yung every single detail that goes into those. Pero, gusto ko maintindihan niyo yung very foundation of all of the symbols that are used in logos, which are the shapes that they form, that they are derived from. So, there are like 3 basic shapes that I will discuss. 3 basic shapes na alam na natin from grade school pa lang. First is triangle. So usually it's related, you associate this with movement, with excitement and growth. Kasi yung arrow head, 'di ba? Triangle siya. So when we see a triangle in an artwork, in a logo, automatically, ang napaperceive ng brain natin, movement, excitement, and then growth. So let's say, for example, FedEx nga, they are a company who moves, di ba? Movers sila. Kaya may triangle-based logo sila. And also, yung Philippine Airlines, example that I showed at the start, di ba, dalawang triangle din yun? Because they are a company that's also associated with movement, with growth. Kasi 'di ba, goal naman nila talaga is to grow the airline, to be the number 1 airline they are the number 1 airline of the Philippines. And then circles naman, they give the impression of love, comfort, and inclusion. Kaya if you know the song, yung Jubilee, ganyan, we form a circle, di ba, for family. Kasi mas ano siya, mas welcoming. And then we kind of associate circles with like hug, it's cuddly, you know, our toys are circles. So if you wanna send a message of unity, compassion, yung comfort and inclusion. Circle. Go for like more rounded corners and use a little bit more circle. If you're familiar with Canva, yung logo nila, they want a platform to be used by all to create nice designs. So if you want to be inclusive, yan circle. The one in the middle is a logo I personally made. So it's a letter S but two people, and then if you connect them, it's gonna form like a circle.
Wow.
Tapos yeah. And then yung letter S here, yung Skype, since they are also inclusive, gives out a sense of community, kaya ganyan din yung logo nila, circle, but also cloud. Cool. And then squares naman. So, okay, triangle, movement, circles, parang inclusivity, comfort. And then squares naman, ito yung mas may, pagka-masculine, strength, courage, and discipline. Like say, for example, BBC, Microsoft, and then even Lego, sense of discipline. So even if, ang ganda nga ng contrast ng logo ng Lego. Because even if like decorative yung, and for kids yung nasa gitna, it also gives a sense of like discipline because it's enclosed in a box. And even the color red also gives that impression of strength. And also, which is translated to what they are selling, the blocks, diba? Strong blocks gives you a sense of discipline as you grow and as you play with them. Yan. But so yun, natutunan nyo na why logos are important, the basic elements that go into your logo and how they can influence your market. Yun nga yung colors, typography, and the basic shapes. And then, but also at the end of the day, when you create your logo, ask yourself how your logo makes you feel. Ano yung impression na nakukuha mo based on looking at your logo? Kasi all of these things, alam mo, pwede naman natin theorize and in our head it makes sense, pero nothing beats like testing it with your market. So, ask mo rin yung target market mo. Kunyari, yung brand mo, soap for moms, ganyan. Magtanong ka rin sa mga moms, anong tingin mo sa logo? Maganda ba to? Na-attract ka ba? So, i-test nyo din. Yan.
Before we move ahead, meron lang mga reaction din from Zoom and Facebook. Unahin na natin si Dave Narido. Sinabi niya yung favorite logo niya is yung Toyota logo na nakalagay. You can spell the word Toyota from there.
Toyota, yeah.
Di ko rin na-realize yun, di ba? And also from another magaling na designer, si El. Ayan, Pinterest naman ang favorite niya because of the P that clearly symbolizes a pin and its typography and color na very aligned with its personality na very aesthetic, stylish, and casual. Styles na designer dating ni El doon. Shout out din kay Kath. Yung mga fans mo, Salty. si Raul, yan. So, hello sa kanila. Pa-shout out din sa ating mga nasa Facebook. Si JV Domingo, shout out to MM4B from University of Caloocan City. Ayan, so marami kang mga fans sa Nicole.
Hello!
Also from MM4C, A, and B, from A to Z yata yung section ng marketing from University of Caloocan City. So, good morning sa inyo lahat. Si Gemalyn, si Elizabeth, si Maria Alma, si Marivic, si Noel, good morning, si Miho, si Mariel, si Carlo. Yan, good morning sa inyong lahat. Yan. Sige, patuloy na tayo. Sorry for interrupting.
It's okay. Ang galing nga nung sinabi ni El, diba? Parang ang dami niya nang na-assume or na-conclude about the brand just by looking at its logo. So,
meron pa pala akong i-share. Kasi you were showing kanina yung tungkol din sa square and circle, talking about shapes. I remember the old logo of ABS-CBN used to have square, di ba? Tapos meron siyang tatlong colors which represents the primary colors, yung red, green, and blue. And then at some point, I think, since nakalagay nga din yung square is very limiting. So,
tinanggal nila
yung square. It's promoting and showing that they have a wider and mas malaking reach. And they more Filipinos, kaya nila tinanggal yung
mas inclusive. Ang galing, like understanding yung mga stories behind logos. Nakakatuwa din, diba? Yeah. Yung next part actually is me, if I actually want someone to share a brand, and then maybe we can work on a logo together. Maybe you can even help me, Aris.
Alright. Sa mga nasa Zoom and Facebook, yung may mga especially may mga businesses na dyan. O, libre to ha, libreng session para mag-create ng inyong logo. Di ba? So, saan ka naman makakita? Libreng webinar, libreng lessons, and you will also have a chance to have a free logo for your business. O yan, huwag kayong mahiya. Sino?
Pero
Sino gusto?
yung gagamitin natin, Canva, if you guys are familiar, it's a free platform kasi pagka gumamit ako ng Illustrator or ng Photoshop, well, pwede naman natin gamitin, kaso baka hindi maintindihan ng lahat. Gusto ko yung pwede nyo gawin pagkatapos ng webinar for your small businesses, medium enterprises, diba?
Ayan. So, hintayin natin. Baka nahihiya pa sila. Yung may mga business lang. Kung hindi, ako magbibigay na yung business ko, yung ibibigay ko kay
Or
Sol
isip,
para magkaroon ng logo.
or isip na lang tayo ng theoretical brand.
Merong I remember during on our first episode, yung mga business nila, merong ang business about online tutorial. Yan.
Ooh, sige, let's make an online tutorial logo. Tapos pangalan na lang Aris.
I remember her. Yung name ng business niya is tutorial. So that's TU, then the number 2, then REAL. So parang tutorial, parang ganon.
Oh, okay, wait. Okay. Search tayo logo. Ito. And Canva, guys, for everyone, lalo na sa mga small, medium enterprises, Canva is a good tool. Ako, personally, as a designer, I would encourage everyone to hire a designer kasi alam nila tong mga to. But then, if you are on a tight budget and if you really want to create a logo that makes an impact, Canva is a good tool for you to use. But again, like nothing beats hiring a designer who is trained to doing these things. So as I've said, you can use this for free. And then if you I searched logo and then I can create a blank logo here. Tapos, ano yun? Tutorial? Sorry. TU.
And then the number 2, then the word real. Parang tutorial, parang ganyan.
Gets. Okay. So, ano yung target? Do you remember kung ano yung target niya, mga kids? Siyempre, tutorial ba? For kids ba to? Or yung tutorial?
We're lucky that Rebecca is actually with us today sa Zoom. So, Rebecca, if you would like to go unmute or you can type na lang your, para at least we can interview rin about your business. Para ito, libre.
Yay! Children to adult learners. So, medyo wide.
Yes, Rebecca mag-live.
And then, okay, so, kunyari, Rebecca, based on what you learned, diba? Kung gusto mo, okay, I would assume tutorial and you wanna be a bit more welcoming and personal. Ano dito sa mga fonts gagamitin mo? Quiz. But
Ayan.
I would...
Ayun, meron na siyang current logo rin, so pwede rin natin.
Patingin.
Ginagamit niya sa Zoom background. Hello, Rebecca, you can go unmute.
Oh, we can start with that. That as base. Pero mabagal internet ko. In Canva, ang galing mo, may mga symbols that you can use, guys.
Rebecca, unfortunately, we can't hear you. If I remember it correctly, Rebecca, she just started her online tutoring business. So it's really a good help for her para at least mag-guide din natin siya kung ano yung mga pwedeng gawin for the logo, mga best practices. Pero ito, nakita ko yung logo niya na ginagamit niya sa kanyang Zoom background. Maganda naman na yung logo niya. Pero syempre, of course, we can be guided by a professional designer ika nga.
So, gusto ko, maganda yung jump off point na natin diba? Ang galing, even if hindi trained si Rebecca, kung Rebecca, ikaw ba gumawa ng logo mo, may mga elements na tayo nakikita that already gives certain perception, diba? She used the circle, the ibig sabihin welcoming tayo for everyone. And then she used blue. Diba we also learned na blue, if you want to elicit trust, kung gusto mo pagkatiwalaan ka, use blue. So ang galing, nagamit niya na yung mga yun, diba?
Oh,
Without,
hello.
Ayan,
hi!
Miss Rebecca, good morning. Thanks for
Good morning. Change my audio. Naka-speaker kasi ako kanina. Ngayon naka-headset
I'm
na.
not sure, Miss Rebecca, kung na-capture mo yung minention ni Salty kanina. She mentioned na yun nga, you have a good start na kasi you have already a logo, yung blue. Question lang, meron bang tumulong sa'yo na professional to create your logo or how did you go about creating your logo pala?
At first, I did the tutorial and made it yung medyo formal yung font. Then a friend told me to make it parang round daw, round ang edges para pangbata. Kasi ang sabi ko before, we are not, the children or the learners are yung parang product. Pero yung magbabayad kasi yung parents, kaya I made it look formal. kaya ganun. So parang yung kasi, so kasi we are a group of different with different skills. Yung iba programmer, IT ang background, ako naman nasa administration. So yun ang nasa isip ko kasi kung 'di ba sinisingil natin yung parents, pero yung mga bata ang magtuturo. So parang yun na nagiging product yung mga bata pag natuto, tapos usually yung parents ang unang nakakakita. Kailangan ba ng anak ko ng tutorship? Yung ganon. Kasi it's my orientation sa admin. Thank you ha for giving support.
Sure. And that thinking then, di ba? So you're talking to moms, pero ang sinaservice mo kids. Ang
Yes.
isipin mo na, kunyari as a mom, kung mom ka na ba, or if you put yourself in the position of a mom, maghahanap ako of a symbol that represents children. Kasi yun yung hinahanap ko, a tutorial for my kid. So at the end of the
Mm.
day, mas medyo pang bata tayo. Kunyari, moms din naman nagsha-shop sa Toys R Us, sa Toy Kingdom, 'di ba? Hindi naman
Oo.
pang mom yung nila, yung logo nila. Yun. So, yeah, there. I actually found may significance ba yung number 2?
Oo, para kasing yun eh, parang instead na mag face to face or yung kasi 'di ba one on one ang tutorial.
Mm.
Kaya may two sa gitna. So it's a tutor and then kasi pwede rin kaming group. Hindi, kasi pa lang siya, 23 days
Oh.
pa lang. Tapos parang ko lang siya, pinasok. Kasi yung school na pinagtatrabaho ng mga friends ko, nag-close. Sabi ko baka wala silang work. So, inopen ko yung tutorial kasi online naman na karamihan. So, yung anak ko nahirapan din sa modular. So, baka may parents na gusto magpa-tutor. Meron din naman, nakakatuwa.
Nakakatuwa nga how people are adjusting now, 'di ba?
Oo. Tsaka nakakatuwa kasi yung meron akong friend na Japanese, meron siyang tutorial sa Japan. Binibigyan niya ako ng opportunity to also handle yung iba niyang students sa English. So yung reach namin, parang,
Bongga.
hindi lang siya iniisip ko hanggang Cebu lang kasi nasa Cebu kami. Hanggang
Ooh,
Cebu lang siya.
hi, Cebu!
Hi.
Maayong
Ah,
ulit, tama ba?
maayong buntag pa.
Buntag pala kasi umaga
Mm-mm.
pa lang. Maayong buntag.
Oo.
Yan.
Iyon, tapos nakakatuwa kasi gusto niya akong tulungan din kasi di nga pandemic, siya din nahihirapan. So,
Ang
yun
dami niyo.
nagko-collaborate kami, nakakatuwa. Tapos yung first student namin kasi yung intended siya yung pang high school, pang college kasi sa programming. Tapos, meron akong nakita sa FB naghahanap ng math tutor. Isa yun sa mga skill ng teacher namin. So, natawa ako kasi from Cebu yung kausap ko, pero yung student nasa Canada.
Wow. Diba? That's
Oo,
connection. Power.
grabe yung digital ngayon
Landscape
rich.
ngayon.
Okay, sige.
Mm-mm.
Going back, Rebecca, question. Dito sa ating name ng company nyo or name ng tutorial center, it's actually
Mm.
a play on tutorial, right? So,
Yes.
PU and then the two is yun nga parang it's dalawa interaction. Yung real, ano ba yan? Why you
Yeah,
Yung
real
T.
ah,
versus the
kasi
real.
kasi yung real na ano, yung mga tutors namin ano, talagang yung iba programmers, graphic designer,
Maganda ba yan?
marami varied kasi kami pero certified yung mga teachers like licensed teacher, may masters, may hugot, may mga ano kasi sila, may talagang certified
Mm-mm.
dun
Sige.
sa skill na. Kaya yun ang concentration. We are real tutors who would like to help parents in their learning journey of their children, even the adult learners. Kasi yun ang ano naman yung reach. Hindi ko nasasabihin kung ano nangyari sa school, pero ano kami, we are an IT school in Cebu. Tapos we have senior high school, tapos um, we have yung ABM. Parang in-expand ko na lang into online kasi yung mga workers ay yung mga teachers, kailangan din nila ng ano, to continue with their lives. Eh, wala yatang work yung iba or naghahanap pa din. So yun.
Wow, sige, sige. Ayan, while we were talking and while you were sharing your story sa atin, Rebecca, no, nag-start na si Salty, si Nicole.
Oo, ang cute.
Logo mo. Nag-ano. Gusto mo
Sorry.
yun? Sige,
Pero
baka kailangan.
nakikinig ako.
Oo, kasi yung isa kong friend who is a lawyer plans to ano register the trademark.
Mhm.
So yun, biglang, uy, baka it's ano, talagang binigay ni God na maging example siya o ano kasi yun ang plano nung isa naming advisor or consultant, friend ko siya na lawyer. Alam niya yung sa mga tawag dito, yung sa
Sige.
copyright. So yun,
Um,
nakakatuwa.
I'm checking your logo now, Miss Rebecca. Merong text doon? Or is that
Ah,
a slogan or an
ah,
additional
ano
text?
yan, nilagay ko. Parang tagline, learning is
Anong tagline?
fun and exciting.
Fun and exciting. Wow.
Nag-sweat na
Oo.
ako saglit sa Illustrator kasi may
Yes,
gusto ako gawin sa
O,
logo nila. So, I was thinking kasi, di ba, okay, yung number 2, so let's say, yung logo nila, di ba, 2, there are three components, diba? The first word, and then that the reason why I asked significant ba yung number 2, why is it there? So I was thinking maybe okay, let's make this a rounded font first. Rounded. We can use something like that. Mm, this one. This one is nice. But also at the same time, yung two, I wanted, instead of being that, I wanted to be a line that connects your your to your tutor to like your real or something like
wow.
that. So maybe
Wow.
parang ganon. So it's like a syempre, I mean, I can't do it as fast and as nice as I would want to. But just to demonstrate with you
Oh,
guys the idea na I can connect, but I would make this like a bit more curved or something. I can connect the like U with
oo.
the R just so to give that impression of connectivity between two elements or the two people that you're targeting, parang let's say like something like that.
Wow.
Wow.
Ang galing, di ba?
Parang ganon. Pero
Oo. You have just
hindi ko
given me the reason for two. Kasi,
magagawa ng
wow, ang cute.
hindi pa nga siya
Hindi
maganda.
pa nga
Wow,
siya, pero
ayun.
na-amaze ako.
Pero usually, gano'n naman nagsa-start yung logo with ideas, di ba? You kind of sketch it out. But as you can see, we have all of the elements here. You have something that draws your attention. You number two that connects two elements together and is representative of two people. Or, yeah, I can even have like, yung parang logo na ginawa ko before, yung parang curve, tapos merong bilog dito na parang magmumukhang tao siya but also magmumukhang
Oo.
two. You can even play around with that. And then curved fonts kasi pang bata tayo or a more playful font, ganon. So yeah,
Nicole,
we
I
can.
would like to capture this. She has a tagline for her logo. It says
Mm-mm.
fun and exciting. So I'm not sure how you will infuse that or
Baka ano, pagka, 'di ba I said kanina, when you mix fonts together, it makes it a little bit more exciting or fun. So I could like instead of just white over blue, kunyari white to, I can make this to, let's say, a complementing color of blue is yellow. So,
Mhm.
but then I would make it a little bit more muted. It's
Wow,
transferable.
very academic na. Kasi yun yung usual color ng schools, 'di ba?
Pero ang pangit ng tuko kasi aayusin ko pa yan mamaya if I have more time. And I usually, naka ano lang kasi ako ngayon naka mousepad. Usually naka tablet. But I mean, I just want to give you guys the idea of how a designer's mind works when creating a logo. Yeah.
Ayan.
Wow.
Miss Rebecca, what can you say about the logo that
Gusto ko
Nicole or
ng
Sonia has created?
Oh, ang cute niya. Parang talagang yung... Kasi 'di ba yung ano namin is to support the parents. So there's two. It's between the parent, the tutor, and then you can also have the tutor and the learner. So parang it's kasi two, I check the meaning of TU. It means you. So parang ikaw ang ano, ikaw dahil sa iyo.
Ikaw ang
Dahil sa
bida.
iyo, ikaw ang dahilan. Totoong ikaw ang dahilan. Kaya
Yeah.
kaya may tutorial kami. Tsaka yung ano, inisip ko din yung tinanong ako nung taga DTI, bakit kasi tutorial, meron ka pang tutorial online. Eh, okay lang yan, ma'am. Kasi it's okay lang yan, ma'am. Pero meron sila ano. Kasi yung point ko naman eh, 'di ba, nakalagay doon TOTS, parang parang thoughts, although it's children, pero hindi naman, yung learning naman, hindi naman all the time children. Meron din
Mm.
naman tayong, it's a lifelong journey naman ang learning. So, yun. Ay, nakakatuwa.
Yun, but I can make this better for you, but probably after the call. Tutulungan kita, Miss Rebecca.
Wow, thank you,
When I
Nicole.
have more time and more space. I'm
Oh,
so sorry, di ako magaling mag-live demo, guys.
It's
But
okay.
at least
Mahirap talaga
napakita ko
yun.
naman
Kasi
yung...
nag-present
oo.
ka habang
Oh,
nag-create.
yung
Mahirap talaga
idea
mag-present ka.
kasi, ano, binigyan mo ng deeper meaning yung number two. Yung
Wow.
connection between the tutor and the real learner or ano
Yeah,
ba.
and if we make it na parang scribble pa, 'di ba? That's how children write. And mas may personality. And
Wow.
Yeah.
Kasi ano yan eh, hindi lang siya tutorial ang target ko. I'm planning to make it a digital, ano la, kasi marami tayong tutorial businesses, pero ang gusto ko din na we go into support like digital learning materials.
mm-mm.
So parang ano siya, kaya yung mga friends ko gusto nila yun, ipa-register ang trademark para ano na siya,
Right.
yun din ang advice ng DTI so that
Yes.
there won't be any problem later kung ano na daw lumaki. Wow.
Especially ngayon, brinodcast na natin yung business name mo. Baka may kumuha sa picture.
Oo,
Or,
pahingi ng recording.
Kaya,
Thank you so much, Aris. I didn't expect this actually. I just, yun lang, parang, okay, so I
mm-mm.
have friends, I can help.
sige.
Yeah.
I'll
And
connect with you separately, Rebecca. I have a few ideas that we can also explore and feature you in our future webinars. Then.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Rebecca. Thanks, Nicole. And kamusta sa Cebu? Ayan, bigla akong na-miss yung, ano yun? Anggit.
Oo, mainit ngayon. Mainit. May pabugso-bugsong pag-ulan.
Okay, okay. Sige. Kamusta sa Rebecca? Stay safe and good luck sa iyong business and
Sige,
more luck.
pagpunta kayo dito, punta tayo ng ano, Suroy-Suroy Sugbo.
Okay.
Pasyal, pasyal.
Maraming salamat, Rebecca. Ayan. Nicole,
hmm.
meron pa ba tayong time na mag-entertain ng isa or what do you think?
Oh no, we have 2 minutes na lang though. But then
Isa lang eh.
we can actually I was playing around with the idea of starting a community where and we have volunteer designers, diba, helping small and medium enterprises. So maybe that's something we can do.
Yes,
Kind
yes,
of like what we did now.
yes.
Volunteer designers helping small medium enterprises. Parang as designers or people who um have stable jobs, that's the least we can do, diba, to help.
Correct, correct. Yeah. You
Yes.
actually can join, Nicole. You can invite them over to join us sa Sulong Negosyo Facebook group. Yun talaga yung goal namin para sa mga small, micro, small, and medium enterprises. Alam mo yun, to have a support system. Kasi di ba, when we were starting, yun nga, parang aside from the capital, from the ideas for starting up your business, kasama yun, yung branding mo, yung logo. So, with a community that can help you and guide you and, support you sa
Mm-mm.
mga steps along the way. And you mentioned about designers, malaking tulong talaga yan. Sige, sige. We
Yeah.
can talk about that separately in the
Yeah.
sige. So I
But
think,
yeah.
do you have any other things to discuss, Nicole?
Wala na naman. I would just like to say na dun sa ginawa kong logo, I'm thinking of placing more elements that would connote tutorial. But I'm like, that's something you can play around after. I can play around with after. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sobrang excited na si Mr. Becca. So, feature namin next week siguro yung gagawin mong logo for. Ayan. So,
Sana
ako
makatulong.
may mga question pa sila. Ito si Philang, favorite logo niya daw is Google kasi
It's 11
bukod sa
o'clock.
nagagamit ko to in my studies, na-attract lang ako sa logo ng Google since gumagamit sila ng primary colors, napaka-smart lang. Wow.
And yung
There you
O ng Google sa Google search, dumadami yun depending on the number of pages ng results. Galing, no?
go. Galing ah, galing ah. Ayan. Sige. CL, comment niya lang, by adding the color yellow, mas may impact agad yung idea. Ayan. So guys, kung meron kayong questions or violent reactions or concerns, you can share them over at Zoom or Facebook para matanong natin ang ating napakagaling na guest speaker ngayon na si Nicole. Ayan. Yung mga marketing students natin, importante sa inyong branding and logo is one of the elements of branding. So, you have questions, ganyan, reactions, wala. Sige, let's wait a few more. Nicole, where can they reach you if they have any questions or concerns, if you would like to share your socials? Or whatever.
I'm on Instagram and on Facebook. On Facebook, it's Art by Salty. Solty. Kasi yung surname ko Soltes. And then on Instagram, it's Hey Salty.
Hey, salty.
Heysolty.
So guys, yun, if you have any questions or suggestions or business na pwede maibigay kay Nicole or Salty, just follow her sa kanyang mga social media accounts. Right? So before we let Nicole go, so we would like to thank you, Nicole, for being with us today and sharing your expertise. So yeah, share ko lang ang napakagandang certificate of appreciation na galing din sa inyo. Ayan. So this certificate is given to Nicole Soltes for sharing her expertise during Sulong Negosyo Ep.3, ang logo mo, creating your own logo, held today, 6th of November 2020. So ayan, muli, mga kanegosyo partners, pasalamatan po natin ang ating napakaganda at napakagaling at napakabait na guest for today, si Nicole. Maraming salamat sa joining me in thanking her and appreciating her effort and time for today. Maraming salamat, Nicole. And hopefully, this will not be the last. No? So babalik si Nicole for giving her time sa pagbigay pa ng mga expertise niya sa tips, sa mga katulad nating mga business. Yan. Do you have any message for them, Nicole?
Good luck with all of your businesses. And thank you to Boost Manila also for creating this. It's such a wonderful initiative. It really creates a sense of community, especially now, no? Yeah, thanks everyone. And good luck. And if you have any questions or anything I can answer, just message me.
Yeah. Mukhang wala na silang question. Mukhang interested na silang i-check yung social media mo tsaka i-message ka nila separately. Ayan, maraming nag-thank you sa'yo. Ayan,
thank you guys.
din daw sa ano to? cooperative
Coordinator?
coordinator po namin na
I
si
don't know.
Mercedes Bombeta. Hello,
Hello.
guys. Thank you, Nicole. I love your suggestion. Ayan, tuwan-tuwa si Miss Rebecca. Ayan, so kung ano man yung masishare ni Nicole, Miss Rebecca, we will be sharing it to you. Let's just give her time kasi alam mo yung mga artists natin, minsan kailangan talaga nila ng time para ayusin di ba? Mga perfectionist yan, every details, every elements kailangan maayos. Alright, so maraming salamat ulit. Nicole, thank you for sharing your time today. Ayan, pero bago ka pa namin pakawalan pala, I would like to invite everyone to please show your faces. Go unmute and mag-ano lang tayo. Ang tawag dito, picture, class picture tayo. Ang galing mo daw, Miss Nicole, sabi ni Joy.
Thank you.
Are you also an artist? Raul is asking, what do you make?
Painter. What I make? Ocean.
Yeah.
Dagat. Mahilig ako mag-paint ng
Nasa
dagat.
likod ba? Is it your painting?
Ha? Yeah, that's my painting there at the back.
Galing. So hold on. Let me just shift. Ayan, para mag-class photo tayo. Guys, please show your faces. It's time. Si Miss Gail, nasa office pa, naka-mask. Hello, Miss Gail. Ayan, may dalawa tayong pages. So, let me just take the photo. So, guys, if you're ready, hold on. Guys, magpakita kayo. Sira Campo. Okay lang. Naka-post naman si Patricia. Maganda naman shot mo. Okay lang. Alright, so I'm taking the photo now. 1, 2, and 3. Alright. Rinig na rinig pa yung shutter sound. Ayan. Next page. Ayan, one more. Hold on. 1, 2, and 3. Ayan. Thank you, guys. Maraming salamat. Again, thank you, Nicole. Palakpakan natin si Nicole.
Thank
Napakagaling.
you for having
Thank you
me.
so much, Nicole and Sir Aris.
you.
Thank you so much.
Ayan, guys, over sa Zoom, I will be sharing the link for the survey and for the e-certificate if you will be requesting. So request away, just register. If you have any future topics that you would like us to discuss and to host, we will be doing that. Yan, excited lang kami. Tulad ng pinakikita ko kanina, no? We will be featuring some artists, hopefully, ng Star Magic from ABS-CBN. Also, we have a partnership with Globe and GCash. So hopefully soon we will be able to share these good news to you guys. All right, so we'll also be featuring entrepreneurs or other small businesses for our future topics. So if you would like to be featured lang sa Sulong Negosyo, please send us a message, ping us privately, send us a PM if you would like to be featured also. All right? So maraming pong salamat. I will be pasting the link to the survey. So please enjoy. Maraming salamat muli. My name is Aris and I am your host for today. On behalf of Boost Manila, on behalf of Jared and Anton, we would like to thank each and every one of you. Stay safe, guys, and good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Guys, see you next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.